Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mob Impressions, and today we're going to be recapping, reviewing, and reacting to Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 4. This one was written by Ann Cherkis and directed by Reyes Sehorn. The runtime was 45 minutes, so let me give you my overall first impressions of the episode. It was, at least to me, it felt like a filler episode with some fun moments and definitely some tension. Without Nacho, with all the cartel action, we're winding down and focusing on Jimmy and Kim, at least for this one. There was a special guest cameo from a Breaking Bad character, which we'll get into, and it was directed by Kim herself, Reyes Sehorn. Let's get into things. So it has an opening with a biker montage. By biker, I mean just like two middle-aged people riding their bicycles through a really well-off neighborhood. They stop to criticize a newly painted house, which is red. They continue talking crap while they're going into their house. And, it leaves us wondering, who the heck are these people? Why is it following them? And then it kind of cuts to surveillance footage while they're driving around, while they're riding around, and you're wondering, is that just a filter they use? But no, they go into a house, and you can see there's people in the kitchen with guns hanging out. They walk into a living room with a gigantic surveillance setup. So who is this? Is it security? Is it a PI? Who's spying on who? Are they looking for Jimmy and Kim, but they're not in this neighborhood, so who the hell are they looking at? So with that, it does the opening, and then we move on. Howard is driving his car, and he goes to meet his therapist. He starts to talk about his home life, and he mentions I think his wife was Denise or something. I say wife, but then you never actually see anything too personal with Howard, so it was nice to see a little bit of touch there. Hey, he's this hardened lawyer guy, but maybe he does have some problems at home. It was never mentioned before, but then they go ahead and forget that. Jimmy comes in, dresses as Hamlin. He's got the blonde hair. He's got the suit. He's got a gross orange tan. It's pretty funny. He got into Howard's car via the forged key fob that they made from the last episode, or 2 episodes ago. I don't remember. 1 episode, 2 episodes ago. He took the car and drove away, but he left a cone in that parking spot so he can come back and replace it later. While he's driving, it cuts back to Kim at a restaurant. She's outside. She's nervously shifting around, setting up, and then you find out she's meeting with Clint, who is Howard's partner, if you remember. And their whole long con is to try to get him to, go against Howard, and doing so, they can settle with the sandpiper, and they can get Jimmy the money. So they do some small talk, and then it cuts right back to Jimmy calling a prostitute, beckoning to get into the car. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is a guest cameo from one of the prostitutes from Breaking Bad. I think Jesse talks to her, and maybe they even hook up. So I think that's that person. I think that's her. Anyway, they parked, and then they're ready to go. And you're thinking to yourself, what's going on? Obviously, they're trying to mess with Howard, but how are they going to do this prostitute stinger setup going on? So back to Kim and Clint. She texts, "Go ahead," and Jimmy Howard, he guns it right in front of the restaurant because they're just sitting outside, makes a giant screech everyone sees, and then right in front of the restaurant, Jimmy Howard kicks the prostitute out, and then she plays her role well, "Hey, you bastard, you owe me money," so everyone thinks hey, it's the prostitute, and this guy's a cheapskate who didn't pay and just kicked her out. So Clint sees everything. Jimmy Howard goes back to the therapist, but the cone was removed, and then another car got placed in it. Comedically, Jimmy uproots a patient-only sign that was in front of it and puts it in front of the handicap spot where Howard's car walks up. So Howard gets out, slowly walking in. A little bit of small tension here. You see him, doing his thing, but he doesn't see Jimmy. He gets away. Mission successful. He drives off, and the sign falls. It's pretty funny. I'm sure to get that timing just right, they had to get a really, really thin wire you just can't see in the camera, and then they pulled it. So now it goes to Kim and the prostitute. She picked her up, and then they're going around. She pays her and tells her to be careful and gives her her business card. And then that's the last you see of her. I think that's probably her cameo for the whole thing. Kim is followed by some cars, presumably the same one from the ending scene in episode 3. After they talk to the Kettlemans, they drive off and you see that car. Once again, you don't know who it is. Possibly PIs. Maybe Howard is onto them, or maybe some Lalo associates. Now cuts to Jimmy and Kim back at the apartment that night, celebrating, going over their successful plan. Kim mentions that maybe she's being followed, but Jimmy, calms her down, tells her, "Hey, listen to the voice of experience here. The only reason you're feeling that way is because, we're being bad and we actually got away with it." So he assures her that they're safe. We know they're not, but once again, who's following them? Now it moves over to Jimmy at the court. He stopped at the entrance, being given the full security treatment. He has to take off his shoes, his belt, and place everything on the X-ray thing. He also tries to sweet talk the receptionist slash schedule coordinator, but she gives him the cold shoulder. Something definitely not right, and it's a nice little slow build. You're wondering what's going on. All the former colleagues are avoiding him, and then he talks to one of his his former colleagues there. I don't know what his role is exactly there. I think he is just a prosecutor, like a public prosecutor. And word got around that Jimmy is a friend of the cartel, so everyone is disappointed. They don't like him anymore. So really sad that way. Now it cuts to Kim at a restaurant with the client. Presumably this is more pro bono sort of stuff, which he really wanted to do. So she looks out the window. She sees a car that was following her before. She gets outside to confront the car. And really quick, it also cuts to a little shot of her walking out. It's the El Camino Diner. Once again, I did not watch the El Camino movie. I plan to do so after season 6 wraps up. I'm going to watch all of Breaking Bad again. I don't know if I probably won't do any reviews on that or anything, but I will do an El Camino, so we'll do that one. So it kind of goes through this timeline here. Okay, so El Camino, she writes down their license plate really aggressively, like right in the back, like, I know you're watching me, I'm watching you. She talks to them, they roll down the window, they don't say anything, and they drive right off. Pretty crazy. Now it cuts back to Jimmy at the court, eating lunch. No one wants to sit with him. Everyone's just out with their documents, just chilling. And he's like, oh, yeah, you guys want to sit with me? And just walk on off. He doesn't care. He gets a consultation call. I love how he still uses the nail salon as a fake front, saying, hey, I'm letting them use my office, And then he gets another call, and then another call, and it keeps going. Business is booming. He gets back to the salon. Tons of people out there, all shady folks. It's either Miss Wynn. And Miss Wynn, who is the owner, talks to Jimmy, says, hey, get everyone out of here. I don't want these people here. But then they ask him, hey, are you Saul? Are you Salamanca's guy? They all want his service. Once again, just like word got around at the court, word got around with all these shady folks that, hey, this guy, he's the friend of cartel. He could do stuff that most lawyers won't do. This is definitely going to backfire. All right, now it goes, boom, back to Kim at the restaurant after talking to the client. It's like almost nighttime. She checks if anyone is following her. Mike is there, and he says, hey, those guys in the car, they're gone. Now we figured out, hey, 100% it was Gus's men watching over them. They start talking a bit. She recognizes him, that he's the parking attendant. He said, I was. Mike lets her in on that, hey, maybe that Lalo is alive, and maybe he could reach out to anyone who had contact over on the north side here. And, man, she figures out that it was Mike who helped Jimmy, and that's pretty much it. He tells her, but not him. Pretty much he says, you're made of sterner stuff, meaning she's probably going to make the best decision for both of them, whether or not she wants to tell him, and go from there. I think he thinks this way because during their encounter with Lalo back in Kim's apartments, he left a phone on, and Mike heard everything. So he knows, hey, Kim, she's got the balls here. She will get him out of anything. So that's why she tells him. Now it goes back to the house that is being watched in the surveillance from the opening. A car pulls up. Gus is out. It's his house. You're watching over him. He puts on some body armor. He checks out his ankle gun holster. You can see he sighs, says, I don't want to do this. Maybe he's just tired. He heads down to the basement for some laundry. But then he reveals a secret tunnel. He pushes something to the side like a cabinet and then enters a secret tunnel. It leads to the actual surveillance house that we saw at the beginning, which is right next door. A guy walks past him and he dresses up like Gus. So I'm assuming he's going to be his body double just in case people are watching from the house and they want to snipe him or something. They're going to kill that guy instead if they do. Pretty cool long shot, by the way. I like how it was like that. How it was slowly shot. Mike and team are then there, and they discuss the goings-on and Lalo. Mike thinks it's too much security. So now Kim and Jimmy, it's nighttime, but they meet up in a parking lot. You don't know where this place is. He is showing her his new potential office. I love how you look inside. He's like, yeah, this is pretty good, huh? There's a toilet in there, just a simple toilet in this wide open space. He was kicked out from the salon. Maybe he's just gone now from there. He tells her tons of new customers are there, obviously because of his connections. Kim is at this moment visibly shaken because she just got the news and she's like, God dang it. He keeps drawing more and more attention to himself, so this cannot go well. She tells her it's a shithole, but it has potential, basically, saying what he thought she might be saying. They walk off. She looks around, and then that's the moment where she's deciding to most likely not tell Jimmy anything at all to keep them both safe, because who knows what he might do. So that's the end of the episode. Now, my quick review of it was a slow-paced one for sure, but it had lots of tension. It opened up with the comedy, with the Howard shenanigans, and a good thing the people were following them were just as Gustin, man. Oh, I was really worried it might be like something Howard might have, picked up and, building a case against them. Could still be that, but hopefully not. Okay, so basically the biggest thing that happened this episode was the reveal to Kim that Lalo is alive. Other than that, it's just showing the consequences Jimmy has after supporting the cartel. His colleagues don't like him anymore. He's starting to get more attention from shady folks. He's getting big. He's getting a lot of attention. Basically, it felt like a filler episode, but it was still very enjoyable simply due to the fact that everyone's performance is so good. After so many seasons, I think the show started in 2013, 2014, almost 10 years later. Man, I still love watching these characters. But I do have to say, I did binge watch everything just a couple of months ago. So I actually didn't watch throughout the whole 10 years, but it's really cool. Like, after 6 seasons, I'm still invested. I still love all these guys' performance. They're good. They're really good. So, let me give you my predictions. Kim is holding the secret, and it's going to cost the both of them in some way or another. She'll get caught up with an accident involving Lalo. Hopefully, if they keep her alive throughout the whole series and then cleverly explain why she's not with Jimmy after the events of Breaking Bad, because we know he went out to try to get a secret identity. He's living in Omaha. Why is she not there? Did she die off? Did she go on and live her own life? Maybe she's in prison. Maybe she went her own secret identity. We don't know. But if they can do it and make sure, because I think if Jimmy sees Kimmy die, if Kimmy dies somehow, I think Jimmy, his character will not get over it. Like, he wouldn't be the happy-go-lucky guy he is in Breaking Bad. Because I think, during Breaking Bad, after Better Call Saul, it's only like a year or so after, a couple years or months. So if Kim does die, there's no way he's getting over her. So I really hope that they cleverly write her off from his life. So it makes sense, because if she just dies, or maybe he doesn't know she died. Oh, that would be even more tragic. He's going on, living his life, and then she, like, secretly sacrifices herself. Oh, if that happened, that would be very tragic. Very tragic, but, ooh, I think I'd rather go that route. Oh, two ways they should go. She gets written off, but, like, Jimmy doesn't know what happened to her. Oh, no, and then, but we know as an audience. Or she gets written off somehow, and, oh, she has her own life somewhere. Meh. But if she dies, Jimmy sees it, and then he goes on to live his life, I think that's the worst way to go. Just saying that. That's what I want. But I'd rather her go out in one of those two ways, because I really like her character. At first, I didn't at the beginning of the series. I'm like, well, whatever, Jimmy's girlfriend. But she went from like a squeaky clean, character to a somewhat being corrupted, but very addicted to Jimmy's sense of wicked morality and his antics. So she's growing, and she's a very, very nice and strong character. Absolutely needed to kind of reel in Saul and all that stuff. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't already, subscribe for daily videos. Let me know what you guys think about episode 4. I'll be doing every weekly episode here. And upcoming, I'm going to be doing the the season 1 review for Moon Knight, because the finale is coming up in 2 days, or tomorrow actually. And Thursday, I'm gonna go see Doctor Strange Madness or whatever, and I'm gonna be reviewing that too. So hey, stay tuned for more stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.